in all of Africa.
Yeah.
54 countries.
Yeah.
This is 154. Who has the best food?
Okay.
You know what? There's only one way to answer this. Only one way to answer. Because if I don't say Ethiopia,
Let's go, Nigeria.
Anyway, next.
154, we all connected, baby. You already know. I'm talking 154. We bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like
Welcome to another episode of 154. Today's guest is an Ethiopian-born, award-winning, renowned chef. He's an 8-time James Beard Foundation Award winner. He's the youngest chef ever to receive a 3-star review from the New York Times. He served as a guest chef for the Obama administration's first state dinner. He's a New York Times best-selling author and Emmy Award-winning producer. You've seen him as a judge and TV personality on hit shows like Top Chef, Chopped, House of Knives, and Iron Chef. He's a celebrated host, a passionate activist, a cultural ambassador, and the visionary behind acclaimed restaurants all around the world. A legendary chef, restaurateur. You like the way I said that?
Restaurateur. Yeah, well done.
Restaurateur.
And ladies and gentlemen, a global tastemaker, Chef Marcus Samuelsson.
Wow, that's good.
Thank you so much for having
Cheers,
us
guys.
here. Yes,
Yeah,
cheers.
let's do that.
And by the way, this is Ethiopian
Honey wine.
Honey wine. This
Yes.
is very, very prominent. So look at that. Look how rich.
Nice.
Now, is this the way to do it
let's
right
see.
here? Do you have to do this thing right
No,
here?
he just
Wait,
drank it.
You just
He just drank
okay.
it. You did all
When you
of
go
that
to
unnecessary.
Ethiopian honey wine bars, first of all, in Ethiopia, this is more like orange juice. It has the color of orange juice, right?
Okay.
It's a little heavier, more the texture of orange juice.
Yeah.
Now it's sort of distilled and creates a different color. But the raw stuff, when you have it in Addis, right off the market, right? Yeah. It's delicious.
So is it fermented honey?
Fermented honey, yeah.
Man, you can ferment just about anything.
And right now you're at Havar in Chelsea.
Havar, yeah, that's right.
Hav in Swedish. I have 2 countries, right, where I came from. So
Okay.
I grew up in Sweden, but Hav means ocean in Swedish, and Mar means honey in Amharic, which is our main language in Ethiopia.
So I can say Sverige.
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 So that makes
Sverige.
What was her
Sverige.
name?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Watch out.
Who taught you? What was her name?
I was in Sweden,
Oh,
in
please.
Stockholm.
Oh, please.
And
Oh.
I learned about Pippi Longstrump.
Yeah, very
We call
good.
it Pippi Longstocking.
Yeah.
I learned about Leatherlapan, which is
Yes,
Batman.
yeah.
Stålman, which is Superman. Spindelmannen, which is Spider-Man. Give it to me.
Yes, were you on a comedy tour there?
I was just visiting. I was
Yeah.
where
you
know
in
people
Stockholm?
do
Where were
comedy.
you?
Stockholm. I was in
Stockholm,
Stockholm,
yeah.
hanging out with my friend Ellen Strängström.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So I was all up
and
in
you even
there.
got the string through.
And you know what's funny? When I was in Sweden, we took a bus somewhere because
Yeah.
that's where the Nobel Prize is, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, they're saying, watch out for the barn in. Now watch
Yeah.
out. I'm thinking barn as in animals.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to smell like, where's the barns?
Yeah.
Where's the barn? They go, I said, what is this?
The
Watch
kids.
It's the kids.
It's the
for
kids
children.
up on
I didn't
it.
know. I thought I was trying to smell
you.
manure. Like, where's the
Right.
barn? Where's the animals?
He is well traveled. I can say I've been to Sweden, Stockholm with my whole
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
It was
Nice.
a really cool kind of experience to be
Yeah.
there first time.
Wait. 7 kids, 2
Yep.
parents. Their significant others. You're coming in with like 9
No.
Nigerians coming to Stockholm?
No, not growing up.
No.
My kids
Got
and
it.
my wife.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Oh, we couldn't
I knew
afford
that. Yeah, that's what I'm like.
But we are here at your restaurant.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful restaurant here.
Yeah.
Havmar right here in Chelsea.
Chelsea, yeah.
And this is prime location in New York. And there's a whole story behind that. We want to kind of dig into that. But first, we can't ignore the food that's in front of us.
Yes.
We love to open up the show with a kind of a toast and kind of introduction to kind of cultural foods. Usually we have, like Nigerian foods, we had Ghanaian foods.
Yeah.
So now we get to have, for the very first time, Ethiopian foods.
Yeah.
Like, set us up.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
Marcus, set us up.
This bread here, right?
Okay.
You have injera, which is our
Injera.
is a staple, and we dried it, and then I have, of
That's
course,
this right here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
American cornbread, of course, and just a little bit of flash bread that we bake in that oven. So get in there with a couple of dips.
You ever had injera?
And here we really have New York and Ethiopia on a platter. So we have fried chicken with dorowat. This is our national dish in
Dorowat.
Ethiopia.
Dorowat?
So So this is our
Which one's that?
You pull that one. Fried chicken, you know.
Okay.
Dorowat is over here. So pull that. So that's our Ethiopian.
Did we get a good shot of this? Did we get a
Good shot.
Did you get a good
Did we get a good shot of that? We need like the real.
Because when you think about that, when I think about Nigerian food, right, the first thing you got to know, just like in Nigeria, you got to eat with your hand, but in Nigeria, it's all about swallow.
Yeah, you want swallow.
Swallow.
You want swallow.
Okay, and then pulling out those crayfish bones and everything, right?
I'm gonna go for this.
Yeah,
one.
go.
Yeah, this
You
one's
get
called
that.
what again?
This is our it's Dorowat's chicken stew, right?
Chicken
Get in
stew.
there.
I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah, get in there.
Yeah,
Man,
we
watch.
I'm gonna experience
Man,
this. Right?
Hey, man, listen,
You
let me
guys
tell
have so
something.
much good stuff. Suya.
It's about suya.
But suya is actually, you guys are good at taking stuff too. Suya comes from the northern Nigeria, from Niger,
okay.
really from the border, from where Niger is.
Yes.
And it came down
I
to
didn't know that.
Nigeria. And then, but it's Nigerian. And then I love when you guys take jollof rice, which is really from Senegal.
What do you mean we took it? What do you mean we took
Senegal
it?
got the
Everything that is good in West Africa, Nigerians like claim it, and there's so many of you, so you guys, all right, it's ours now.
This is just-
What are you gonna do about it?
We invented corruption. You don't have that.
Yes.
Corruption.
Oh, I'll tell you this. This only stays between us.
Yes.
Yes, we took it.
Yes.
Dang gummit, we perfected it.
Yeah, there you go.
Dang gummit, we perfected it. We started. Now it's a great banter back and forth.
Yes,
on the West Coast.
between Ghana,
Ghana.
Now,
Now,
Senegal.
Senegal got some
Yeah.
good. I love that rice.
Yeah.
I've never
That's
had.
the OG.
I've never had Senegalese jollof rice. I hear obviously that's the origin of it.
Senegambia. We're
Yeah.
exactly where Gambia is now, which was all one country, right? So that's exactly where the jollof comes from.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, the river right there, that's the Senegambia.
and it's amazing.
I want
Yeah.
to get into your history. Like,
Yes.
first, give us your name. You say Ethiopian, and your name is Marcus Samuelsson.
Yeah.
Is that? Tell us the history
Yeah,
of the name.
sure.
Yeah.
So I feel like I hit the lottery twice. When I was born in a tiny hut, basically twice the size of this table.
Wow.
In Ethiopia, in the countryside in Ethiopia. My birth name is Kasahun Sigai. That's
Wow.
where I was born into. My mother, my sister and I, we had tuberculosis. It was the 70s, we had tuberculosis. She walked us from my mom, from the village, and she found a hospital in Addis. It's called the Black Lion Hospital. And she passed away. Me and my sister survived. And so we survived that, which is like incredible by itself. But then a nurse there said, what are we going to do with these kids? We can't just put them on the street. So the nurse took us. She just took us. And she had 3 kids on her own.
Wow.
And she really loved on us, took care of us for a good 3 to 6 months until she finally can set us up for adoption. And that's how I went from Kasamunsi guy, not
God
having
for
my
her,
mom.
huh?
Yeah, and then got to Sweden. So I went from the warmest country in the world to the coldest country in the world.
That's
How old were you when that happened?
So I was around 3-ish because there's no birth certificate, there's nothing, right? So when technically I'm a Scorpio, some people are, oh, you're a typical Scorpio. I'm like, I don't know when I was born, so I don't know that stuff.
So stop lying.
Wow.
Internet had me born January 25th.
They just gave you something.
Where they gave me a date, and I've never battled it. And this is how things are weird, right? So I was like, why is it out there? Who come up with this date? But I was like, it's Wikipedia, it doesn't matter. Then my daughter is born on January 25th.
Get out
Just
of here.
randomly.
Get
right?
out
So I
of
was
here.
like, don't
That's
mess with the internet.
insane.
You know, if it's on internet, it's true.
It's gotta be true.
That's crazy, right?
insane.
That's insane.
Wow.
So it did become a significant date. But
Wow.
yeah, man. So I grew up in Gothenburg, the second biggest city in Sweden.
Okay.
That's where, the blue collar, that's where Volvo comes from. That's where it's a port town. I had a great upbringing.
Wow. When did the name change? And was that? I mean, obviously you were
Yeah.
young, so you probably didn't know the.
I
birth
tell you,
name.
my
Yeah.
father, this is like my dad and my mom in a nutshell. They picked him up at the airport. My dad's like, I'm going to work tomorrow. I gotta figure this out. 2 kids. Okay. What day is today? May 6th. Okay, that's the big ones. That's her birthday. The little one, 6 months later. Boom. November 6th. Just picked it like that. Names, white family, black kids. They got having the national names. That's what he was talking about. Driving back. We got to have this solved before we get back to the house. My mom's like, we actually don't. But no voting, right? So
right.
Dad's like, International. Linda, Marcus. Done.
Right.
That's like next day, back to work. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my dad in a nutshell.
That's awesome.
Pragmatic, stuff's got to work. I got to go back to work.
Yeah, so that wasn't much of a culture shock because you kind of just grew up only kind of really, you know, which from your core memory is from started in Sweden. When did you start to get to know like your Ethiopian roots? Like when did that come about?
Well, it was a culture shock.
Oh.
Because for the other neighborhood kids, right, you know, they want to, you know, if we were in a neighborhood fight, they wanted to check if my blood was red. You know, they would have wanted to know if you went behind a tree and peed or something like that. They want to make, like they've never seen anyone. When my mom took us to this neighborhood store, I always say that we were the first celebrities. For my mom, when she went to the store, people were like taking pictures, touching her hair. My mom was like this, don't touch my kids, don't touch my kids, don't touch my kids. I have memories just being surrounded with people. And I just remember looking up at these adults, whether they were like 18, 20, I don't know how old they were, but I just remember wherever we went as a kid, it was people around us. And it was so novel and rare, so I remember all of that stuff.
Was it traumatizing? Or was it like, this is fun?
It wasn't, for me, I was the youngest, but I know my oldest sister, she was adopted, but she's Jamaican. So for her, she was almost, you know, she was 11, 12, going through all her stuff. And it's uncomfortable, like having people touch your hair and you're 12, 13-year-old girl and you're just like figuring yourself, you know, you're figuring you're growing.
What is that? Because my kids, like my wife is mixed, you know, half black, half white. And, you know, our kids experience that. Like people tell, I just want to touch your, like that is because I guess because I live, you know, in a predominantly white neighborhood, I didn't obviously have that growing up, but I was like, what? I don't get the fascination of touching the hair. Like I remember when my oldest son, who's now 25, and he says, this thing that happens, people just come and they just start strangers touching my hair. And so I remember the very first time I witnessed it with him, and we were at a Target, and I said, excuse me.
What are you doing?
I said, please don't touch my son's hair.
Yeah.
And he was in, you know, such a shock. He was like, well, no, it's okay. And I was like, no, you just told me that, but he didn't want to.
No,
and I thought
you don't
that
want to
was
make a
weird.
scene.
You don't want to make a scene. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And then, so I've never understood that, like what the fascination is, because I've never had the urge to go and touch somebody.
No, we never.
Somebody's
I've never had the urge, but I don't get
but
that.
it's just the inhumanity. They don't see the humanity in us. They think we're this like these exotic animals.
Yeah.
It's about humanity.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch a person, a non-black person's hair. I wouldn't touch your head. That's
it,
personal space.
And it came out, I mean, I had a very good upbringing, right? But as I look back on it, it was a lot of things that happened. Like when you play soccer, the referee didn't even know it was all the things. The other team's parents, like just screaming at. It was just chaos, right?
Wow.
But then you always have your friends. You always have people around you that maybe it was my friend's parents that checked another parent, right? Maybe my parents, like, my mom couldn't go to the game because she was in fights with other parents, right? My dad was more like, you stay in the car, they're going to play. But, you know, but I had a very protective mother of us. And her thing was always, you want me to come to school? I said, absolutely not. You want me to come to work? Absolutely not.
Because you knew she was going to make a scene.
Oh my God.
So was the racism like that bad there? Because you don't get no water in Sweden.
You know, I don't think it was racism per se, or everything wasn't racism.
Not every single minute, right?
Because a lot of things were,
took
think
breaks.
about this is 70s and the 80s, and then also like when Michael and Prince and Eddie Murphy and all that stuff happened in the 80s, everything turned. All of a sudden it was cool, right? And I became older and like knew how to MTV, and we knew how to navigate through all that stuff. Like hip hop came about, right? But like I just remember at the beginning, there was always a big deal when we were leaving the house. In the house, our parents were our parents, our cousins were our cousins. We had Korean cousins, we had white cousins, we have Jewish cousins.
You grew up in the UN.
Yes, we were.
Yeah, you grew up.
We were fighting like any other kids were fighting.
regular.
And it was, regular stuff. But when we left the crib, all of us together really, had those shared experiences. And we were strong because there was a lot of us, like you guys,
So you grew up with a big family.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, what was the breakdown? Because I think it's kind of cool that I'm assuming, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but your parents kind of brought in different cultures into the family. You guys had this kind of, I'm going to call it the UN family. What were the breakdowns in the different regions everybody was from? How many of you?
I had two Korean cousins. I have my French Canadian cousins, beautiful, just like kids that they barely spoke Swedish when we grew up. So they're blonde, blue eyes, Swedish kids, grew up in Canada, did not speak Swedish. So when they came every summer, they were the ones who actually couldn't communicate, but they looked the most Swedish, right? And it's funny how our life has changed, because now I live in the States and they all live in Sweden, right? So it's been this full, my dad was right. We would live international lives. And the Canadians, they came back home to Sweden because they connect to it on a higher level than maybe I did. But I love Sweden. I love my upbringing. I love my parents. And I'm grateful for all the aunts and uncles that did not know blackness or any of that, but they just knew love and they knew family. My uncles, bless them, they were fishermen. They knew what to do with, the ocean, but they'd never been to the city. They'd never been nowhere. But they were just beautiful, loving. You got smacked when you need to get smacked. You got a little coin when you need to get coin. You can go to them with everything. And I felt loved. I've never not felt loved.
It's so cool to hear, too, because I know there are a lot of people who've grown up in that situation and they're adopted. And I've also wondered this, too, and I think you'd be perfect for this. It's like when you are removed from your home country, there is the culture that you leave behind.
Yeah.
And your situation was obviously tragic in how you left your home country. Did you learn and get to learn, or when did you get to learn about your origin?
Yeah, I mean, it was always there. My mom was really the enforcer of that. But, we were just kids, so we were like, we wanted to do what other Swedish kids did, right? But as you become like a late teen, you started kind of like ask more questions about yourself, right? And my sister's being older, so once my sister turned 20, she was all in on Ethiopia, right? And for us, it's like Bob Marley, Rastafari culture was kind of cool, right? There was
Haile Selassie.
Haile Selassie. There was a connectivity to that. Once we went to the city, other Rastas or other Jamaicans used to come up to us and talk to us, right? And I'm like, why are they picking us up? But of course, we recognized about that. But I had two loves growing up, cooking and soccer. And I always thought I would be a professional soccer player. And when that didn't happen, right, I just knew that this will never happen again. It's never going to come time where I put in the work, invested all my time, and I'm not going to get picked. So for me, soccer gave me the humility and the work ethic that I'm still working off, right? There's always a kid out there working out. Yeah. There's always another kid just as talented as you that deserves it just as much as you. Yeah. The sports taught me a lot. Coach, chef, very similar. So once I got 16, 17, I was on this path on like, okay, I'm going to be the best. And I'm going to put the same amount of time into cooking as I did to soccer. And the cooking path is different, but I knew there were scholarships to be had, right? And my mom and I went to the local library. We searched for scholarship. We got them. Because a lot of people didn't apply for scholarships, right? And I got...
This is in Sweden?
In Sweden.
Yeah.
So I got to Japan.
Oh, wow.
And then eventually I got to Switzerland, which was really difficult because in Switzerland, they speak either French or German, so I had to like navigate. And then the goal was always to get to France. And I got to France at a 3-star, at the highest level.
And what was the highest levels?
3-star Michelin.
Because I always hear of cordon bleu.
Yeah.
No, there's cordon bleu. It's always it's whack, right?
No, it's not whack.
I thought it was
it's
like a McDonald's of
No, it's a good base.
It's a good base.
But I work at a 3-star Michelin restaurant. That's the highest level of you can work at.
Level.
In French, not in English. So that was at a place called Vonas. So it's called Georges Blanc. That was that guy. He still got it. He's a mega star chef in that part of the world. Yeah. And I did it in French, which was for me, like, as a little black kid from Sweden, I had to do it in multiple languages. I have to travel over the world. But it was like being an athlete, right? Mm-hmm. You know what it is to be number 5 it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, there's 1 or 2 spots. You may or may not look like everybody else here, but it doesn't matter. You just got to navigate through that.
So you took that. So where did the desire? When did you know that you had this special skill set? I mean, because we're gonna get into it as far as all the different places you've been through. But when did you know, like, yo, this is my jam? And who introduced you to cooking?
So my grandmother introduced me to basic home cooking, which I love. My grandmother Helga, rest in peace and power. But it's like anything when you realize that you can be on stage at the Apollo, right?
Yeah.
That gives you motivation not to go down, to go up.
No doubt.
You know, like, so you're thinking about Madison Square Garden now.
What's the
and
next
you're thinking
move?
about
That's
the
right.
next move.
That's
and,
right.
and there was the same for me, take money away, right? Because at this point, you make no money, right? So, but I needed to compete at the highest level. And that was what's at stake here, because I knew if I do that, I can then at 23, 24 start to have multiple offers and money will come. So it's like you going to college or taking a master and then maybe going for a PhD.
Yeah.
You know the money's going to come,
Right.
but you just don't know where yet.
Because
right?
you're investing in yourself, and
Investing.
then eventually that
And
will show up.
I had the luxury to coming from a middle class family, so I had support. Not a lot, but I was broke, but I wasn't poor, right? There's a difference.
There's a
Right.
distinct,
Big
big difference.
Big difference.
Big
Big
And
distinction,
my
yeah.
parents sent me a little coin, but it wasn't a lot. It could be like,
Just to get by,
yeah,
though,
to
he
get
was
by.
good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you got like $100 a month because they knew that the place where I lived and worked for maybe gave me another $100 a month, and you got food and everything paid for. So my dad's like, what else do you need?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give an African
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a little money.
You know what I mean?
Like, I'm okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
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 But so there was a path. And also the other thing with them, I had two parents, but I had a lot of mentors. And my father didn't know cooking, but he knew strategy, right? He'd take himself from a fishing village, dirt poor, and he was a geologist and ran his own company, right? So he's done that path.
Yeah.
And he always took us back to the fishing village because life was just different there. It was beautiful, it was simple, but you could tell as a kid there was just different economy than the city. Yeah. You know, I grew up, we went on vacation, we had 2 cars, we could go to the States. So privileged, but not super privileged. But once we came back to the fishing village, you noticed there was a big difference.
You were humbled by the
Humble.
Yeah, yeah.
And he loved doing that, right? Because he's like, all right, which one is going to be? What are you going to do?
I need to start doing that with my
Yeah.
kids.
He's like,
let's go over here.
let's go over
Let's
here.
go to my fishing town.
Yeah.
No, I take my kids to Ethiopia every year.
Yeah.
Let's do it. We can stay at the hotel here, but now we're going to go on a drive. Now we're going to go 2 hours away from the city. Let's do that.
Wow.
Let's just steep in this for a minute.
Yeah. I'm actually taking my kids for the first time.
Oh,
taking
beautiful.
them to Nigeria.
Oh, amazing.
You know, so they can see it and
Yes.
kind of like, you know, take that in, because I didn't go until later in my life. And I wish I would have gone, and my parents had the means to take us when we were younger.
Yeah.
But I think the impact of them being in middle school and high school and being able to see that, and even too, for my wife to be able to see, you know, Africa for the first time, what that does to them. And because I know it was such an aha moment for me going, oh, and literally everything that my father did growing up came back to me. When was the first time that you went back to Ethiopia?
In my 20s.
In your
and
20s.
And it was really, I have so much to thank my older sisters, right?
Oh, okay.
Because my sisters, I'm just being this young chef, winning young awards, making a little name for myself. And at the same time, I was just getting my paperwork done, so I couldn't really travel. I couldn't leave the States. You know, when you apply for a green card and all of that stuff, before you get all the papers, there's a lag time. But my sister was always looking, and then one day she said, I found our birth father. And I was like, what?
Get out of here.
This changes everything.
Whoa.
And then I had to wait 1.5 years before I was allowed to travel. But the minute I could travel, I'm like, back to Ethiopia. I meet my dad.
Whoa.
And, you know, I'm in a car. I'm in the, you know, in Africa, you're in those Toyota cars. Yeah, right? Driving.
Shaking. Oh, it's the same way?
You might pass a donkey, goats, a Mercedes-Benz, a bike, whatever. It's like it's a lot, right?
No lanes.
And then the driver said to me, he said, okay, in 5 minutes, it's going to be there, right? And you're just looking at a savannah. You're just looking out. And all of a sudden, it's like 15 huts over there. And he just takes off. And there's like 200 people, because the whole village is out, right, for this.
Oh, they know you're coming.
Yeah, they know I was coming. And so my dad is at 70 at this time. He has long locks, gray locks, most stunning thing, right? So I'm like, all right, at least I'm gonna have good hair. So I don't even know. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have good hair.
Oh, hold on. I get older, I'm gonna have,
Okay, my father's rocking, he rocking.
I got them good genes.
Yeah, I got the good genes. And I always say that to adopted people, adults, if you're not mentally ready, don't do it. And no one else can tell you it's your time. Because you did it doesn't mean you should do it, right? Because it can be the greatest things you've ever done.
Yeah.
But it could also mess you up forever, right? Because once you get off that car, there is expectations on their end, right? Like you're a game changer in their life, right?
Yeah.
And you may or may not be ready to live up to that. Or you might just say, hey, I want to come and see my dad and jump back in the van and, hit him off with something, right?
Yeah.
No, like this is your family and they have expectations. And for me it was, the girls didn't go to school. They were working on the field. And after like all the hoopla with meeting my dad and his
ceremonial return and
8
everything.
kids he had and all that stuff was over, it was down to business. Like the girls they were like from 5 to 12, they wanted to finish school and they knew in the countryside maybe they wouldn't be able to go to school. So I had to like play checkers and chess with my dad and figure out which of the girls could come into the city, how can we educate them, and it was a long process,
Yeah. What did
you
your
look
father
like your
tell?
pops? Did you look like him?
That's
I did, yeah.
Because I'm like,
yeah.
yo.
Yes.
Were you guys like, what?
Yeah,
That's
that's crazy.
dope.
It was a lot of great moments like that.
Like that, you look just like.
No, I got 15 years with my dad before he passed, and I'm
you
so
did?
happy.
That's
great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's
How much
really
did you learn, and what did you learn about, from when you left and, from, when your mom passed away, that some of that gap, were you able to close the gap, get understanding? Clearly in 15 years, did you get closure? What was that relationship like afterwards?
I wrote Yes Chef right before I met him, and it was a great success, my autobiography. But now when that was 10 years ago, so now I'm actually ready to write the follow-up, which really, adoption has multiple sides to it, right? But what you never hear about, so there's a winner and there's a loser, right? So the winner is obviously the kid who got rescued to that family. But then in my case, my dad was a poor farmer that didn't know we were adopted. So he lost his wife and 2 kids. And just like, there's no internet, there's no communication. Where's my family at? He was out on the farm, came back, everybody gone. And once you hear it from his perspective, you're like, whoa, it's like unfathomable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he had a really rough time. And he went to the mountains, he started to pray, and it was a really rough time. And then eventually he came back, remarried, and started his new family. But it was a good 10, 12-year gap there, right? Wow. So I started to look at this from his side, from the other side. And that's a fascinating way to just understand how far and different and an outcome which you only looked at it from one angle, right?
Yeah.
And to have the opportunity to talk to him for me was been everything.
Yeah, oh, that's really cool.
Same height? Was he same height? Was he tall?
Same teeth.
Was he? You guys like? Was he tall? Was he
we actually have this picture where we both got ugly feet. So we acknowledge that. So we actually have this great
we're
picture.
Related, all right.
Yeah, we're taking a picture of our ugly feet. I was just laughing. Oh, you got ugly feet too. Oh no, so I had to take a picture.
That's funny.
So yeah, you gotta laugh, right?
You gotta laugh.
Yeah. So you get to Ethiopia, you get a chance to, your sister finds you guys' biological father. I'm assuming then, was that the first time you had Ethiopian food, or had you had Ethiopian
I've had
food?
it a little bit before that. Okay. And, the blessings in the States is obviously our communities. Like, I joke with you guys are Nigerians, so I know right away, Houston has been a place where you have cousins, and without even
I actually do have a cousin.
Of course.
Multiple cousins in Houston.
We talk about Chicago. I'm like, the first thing I relate to Chicago and Nigerian communities, like, there's actually a West African supermarket there.
Yeah.
Not a little small store,
Chicago.
supermarket, right?
Yeah,
Like
right.
as Africans, we're always so proud of, oh, did you know? Like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So, you know, I had a little bit of Ethiopian culture from DC. You know, being in New York, I went down to DC a lot.
Huge.
And seeing Adams Morgans and seeing that there was
Adams Morgan?
Yeah, you know, Ethiopian professionals and students and a whole lot. So obviously I got a lot of Ethiopian food that way. Yeah.
Wow.
yeah.
What's because this is my first time experiencing Ethiopian food.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just said you ate it.
No, because we had with Eritrean food where
Yeah.
we had the
Yeah.
what was it
The injera.
The injera.
Very
We had
Oh,
the
you never
injera.
had Ethiopia, you only had
I only had the injera. Yeah, when we
Yeah.
had that was it. Like
Oh,
I had
wow.
never had.
But it's very
Ethiopian
similar.
food.
It's like-
Yeah, heck, I even wore this because
Yeah,
this is
no,
like
I
the
saw-
Is that
color.
why you wore that?
Come on, man.
Yeah, you
Like,
look good.
I thought you
No,
you
no,
was going
he-
back to grade school. I didn't know.
No, it's good.
Like a big old
This
book.
is the
You look like a big
Ethiopian-
old
come on.
third grader.
Man, I curated this whole thing.
That's
This
dope.
whole
you look
thing.
good.
That's dope. It's hurt my
You look good. I
eyes.
see you. I see you. I see you.
All right, all right.
See, he doesn't
Yeah.
get it. He doesn't.
I do get it. I'm just blinded by the side.
Yeah.
The yellow.
Also, that's like, you're so strong, man. That little like pound, I'm like,
No,
dude,
yo.
I'm a chef. I need
And that's
my-
his happy. That's him happy.
He just like,
When he hits me on the side, he goes, God, man. I'm like, yes.
you're so strong.
I'm doodling my pants just a little bit when he
so
touches me.
strong. And I'm like, his hands are worth everything to me. And I'm Ethiopian. When I said yes, you didn't tell me about this.
No, I
Well,
just want you to
that's
feel that because
Yes.
I have injuries
I
from
forgot.
episodes.
You probably have your hands insured.
Yes.
And you know why he doesn't eat injera? Look at his hands. He's like,
Amazing. And you don't even know how strong you are. You're just like,
Like,
he'll tell me like, wait, I'm not done talking. I'm like, you got it.
I'm not saying a word. Can I get my shoulder
And
back?
this is him happy.
That's so funny. Yes. Yes.
Do you have a favorite? You have a favorite Ethiopian? Because there are a lot of people who are
Yes.
watching
Yeah.
who haven't experienced
Yeah.
East African food, especially
Well,
Ethiopian
what
food.
Havar is really modern, right? For us, it's important to bring sort of a modern Ethiopian experience. We have a Marcus in Addis, in the tallest building in East Africa, on the top floor. And we have a little cooking school where the students can go. So for me, it's the mom and pop. We're never here to take away business from mom and pop. We want those Ethiopian mom and pop.
Beautiful.
And they do that,
That's
right?
right.
And we are more about the modern experience, right? And that's why there should be a link. But I would hate for someone to say, I want traditional Ethiopian food, because that's not what we're doing. You know, we're more Afrobeat, and they should be more fella,
Yeah.
right? Or whatever,
All
whatever
right,
it might
all right,
be,
I like
right?
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love I can tell you've been to a lot of places.
Yes. Yeah.
You have a lot of points in a lot of different places and culturally rich.
Yeah.
When did you start to see the rest of the world? How many countries
Yeah.
have you been to?
I don't know that, but probably like 90 or something, like a lot.
Yeah.
But like, you know, part of it was traveling through food, right?
Yeah.
And
That's dope.
I owe everything
90.
to traveling, right? Because one of the beauties by working abroad is that you're not on vacation and you see it from the back of the house. When you pull up and do a gig in another place,
Yeah.
it's very different. You're meeting the camera person,
doubt.
you're meeting the makeup person.
doubt.
It's
No
a
doubt.
very different versus you going to the beach or we doing that,
Yeah.
right? Which is, we need both.
Yes.
So I just love the fact that I've worked in Singapore street food markets. I know the vendors in X, Y, and Z market, right? Like, and their life is about everyday life. They're just gonna do it based on their culture.
Yeah.
They're still gonna pump hip hop, wave you 25 or whatever. They still wanna do what we're doing. They're just gonna do it to their own tune, you know what I mean? And so that's the biggest blessing. So look, when I was in Nigeria, I was cooking, right? And just like, I'd never forget, like the students in Lagos, they were just as hungry as American students. They just want to do exactly what we want to do.
all.
And just like that kinship, you know, I will always be excited about that.
Oh, that's cool. You speak.
Amharic, I don't speak great Amharic. I don't.
Okay,
My
okay.
wife speaks.
okay.
And yeah, my
Oh,
family.
good. So we're all
yeah.
we're all guilty.
Yeah, yeah,
of-
'cause
of-
I
we're
love
horrible
that. I don't
Africans.
think I love that.
We're mediocre, horrible
Yeah.
Africans.
We're
All right.
mediocre.
Okay,
No,
my
hold on.
English is perfect.
Okay, so I want. So tell me this, because this is something we joke about all the time. I don't know how it is in the rest of Africa.
Yeah.
Do you get the look when
Yes.
they go? I didn't
Yes.
even finish.
Yes.
Here goes. Don't even finish. I already know what you're talking about. Like, So how come you don't speak? You know, like,
Ferenc. So the word is Ferenc, right?
Ferenc.
They just wherever you go. And I'm like, I haven't even said anything. How do you know I'm a Ferenc? They're like, the clothes, the sunglasses, or like, you know.
They can
And
tell
they're
by
like,
the way you walk.
Yeah, and
They know.
And they
You know,
come up to me,
Americanized.
all of the things like, how come you come from America and look so dirty? Your sneakers are dirty. And I'm like, what? But it's muddy here. But their sneakers are not dirty, right? Because they're like cleaned up. They can, every sign that you're not from there. And I'm like, I thought I dressed. No, nobody dresses like that over there.
Hey, you know what's crazy is I have this funny experience because, like, I remember the first time I went to Nigeria, and it was like, oh, you gotta be careful because they're gonna hustle you up at the airport. And I said,
Sure
all right, you know
did.
what? I said, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
I'm not. I was like, my mama Nigerian.
Yeah.
My daddy Nigerian.
Yeah.
I'm Nigerian.
Yes.
They're not gonna tell the difference.
So
My
good.
mouth shut.
You're so good.
And so I go into the, Murtala Mohammed Airport, and I go in with my my Nigerian passport, and they go, Idowu, calling me by my middle name. And I'm like just on the lookout, making sure nobody trying to, hey, Idowu. I'm like, Idowu. I said, oh shoot, that's me. And the minute I go, oh, that's me.
Oh my God.
Smell it.
I smell it. I get out there, they hustle me for like, tip me. What is it? I said, God, how did they know? Like, why did they come to me?
Smell
Like,
it. They got you.
Look at you.
Yeah.
What do you mean, Dad? I'm Nigerian.
But Nigeria, the hustle is
It's a different swag. It's a different movement.
Crazy.
So the only place in Ethiopia where you have that hustle is at our open air market called Mercato, right? Because just getting to Victoria Island from the airport to Victoria Island in Nigeria, there should be an Olympic medal.
No doubt.
Yeah.
It should be an activity.
I got my bags.
It should be a
roller coaster.
And then first of all, when I was in Nigeria a year and a half ago, I'm thinking about my luggage. Like, oh no, here we go, luggage.
Yeah.
I hope I get my luggage
Yeah.
back. So we go there, waiting at the baggage
Yeah.
claim. Now we got 5 Nigerian dudes saying, they built the airport on the wrong side. Our luggage may not come. I'm like, oh no. I'm sitting there and they go, how can Nigerians are smart. Why would they build it on? It's supposed to be on the other side. So it's already an airport problem. So I'm like, please let me get my.
But if you tip me, I'll find a
We waited for. I had a guy who was Hausa.
Yeah.
Because they say the Hausas are the smartest. But this guy named Bala, he runs the whole airport. So I already had a hookup from a guy from Atlanta who said, I know we got somebody that's gonna meet you so that you can get out of there. So you're gonna give him some money so you don't have to get hustled by the other dude. So I had everything was connected. Yeah. I had to set up. Thank God.
By the way, Hausa is where Suya come from. So the Hausa tribe in northern Nigeria,
Suya.
That's where the Suya
that makes
comes
sense.
from.
So do you go around, when you go around to the different places around the world, 90-something country, which is
That's
impressive.
insane.
Do you do, like, are you memorizing all the tastings and the foods? Like, do you have just like a
If it's
catalog to
good,
bring?
yeah. And Nigerian food has that impact because you both have heavy food, but then you also have the light broths, right? Like there's both, you know what I mean? And and it's such a epicenter. Nigeria is, like Ethiopia's over here, Egypt over there. Like there's a couple of countries.
There in the pocket right there.
Can I put you in the hot seat?
Yeah, put me in the hot seat.
Okay, I'm gonna put you in. This is very controversial.
Yeah.
You might get canceled for this.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
In all of Africa,
Yeah.
54 countries.
Yeah.
This is 154. Who has the best food?
Okay.
You know what? There's only one way to answer this. Only one way to answer. Because if I don't say Ethiopia,
Let's go, Nigeria.
Anyway, next question. Can I tell you a funny food story? We're in Nigeria cooking, right? So I'm doing this event. I'm in the States. We have this big dinner in Lagos that we're doing. So I send one of my sous chefs. I'm not thinking anything about it. So I'm texting him, what's up? And he's like, where are we? He's like, Chef, there's a problem. I said, what do you mean it's a problem? The dinner, where are we? Did they not send you all the ingredients? Go to the market and figure it out because, this is a big dinner. He's like, you have to call him. So I call him on WhatsApp. This Nigerian dude picks up. Why you send a yellow man? I said, what? Why you send a yellow man? So my guy was Filipino, right? But there's my guys. Why you send a yellow man? I said, excuse me? He cannot leave the hotel room. Nothing is being done. So my guy had to call to the where we're supposed to do that. They didn't allow him to leave. He's American and he's a yellow man. This is very dangerous. He's not leaving. I have one job. He was not allowed to leave the hotel. He was allowed to go down to the hotel lobby, get some food, go back up.
Wow.
And we waited until you're coming, sir. I was like, click. I was like, this is like total chaos, right? And eventually, I had to fly a day earlier. We got to get it done. And they're like, you should know about it. You're African. You know, and how can you send a yellow man when you know better? Shame on you. Oh my God. And like, that was Nigeria, you know? We got it done. It was all good.
Do you got to, I've been, my algorithm, I have the Ethiopian dance.
Yeah, it's Kista. It's Kista, of course.
Unreal.
It's Kista.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
The levels at which
Yes.
And they.
You're good. You're good. Yes. Yes.
Now you can
I had to show him off.
We just had our speed was just in Ethiopia, and that
was fantastic.
so he went to dance, and he did it. Yeah, we cooked with him, but he did a great job doing his iskasta. He did a good job.
Not bad. Was it bad?
No, you were good.
Yeah, do it.
I don't know.
Please.
No,
I gotta see it first.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have you attempt it.
How did you hook up with iShow Speed? Like, was that just by?
He set up, and I have to tell you, he was so impressive, right? He went to a bunch of countries.
He sure did.
But he set up for every country. He worked with tourism, with the private sector, and made it really interesting. And like, what doesn't come off on those video shots, right? But the whole nation were excited. It's like better than any tourism commercial you can create, because this was felt by young people.
Sure was.
And people were running to his event, and it was such a big experience for the country.
Sure was.
And I just love the fact that he's like, I have an audience. I want to know more about Africa. I'm going to go and visit these countries. And now my audience is going to go and visit these countries as well.
And he turned 21
Yeah.
while he's in Africa. And he goes, with his dad,
impressive.
he goes, this changed my life. And he goes, they've been lying to us. Like, they lied to us, man.
It was great.
And they mad at that. They're like, yo, we're just like everybody else, man.
No, he
We got
crushed
so
it.
much great stuff.
He crushed it.
And I remember when he's in Egypt, that was real significant. Because the girl was lying to him. She was taking him. He goes, yo, how come all their noses are shot off? Right? And she goes, because he rose. And he goes, just their noses? Nah. I loved it. It goes, because she was lying.
And it was honest. It was honest curiosity.
Yes.
From a 21-year-old.
From a
21-year-old.
If it's gonna erode, why didn't the chin erode? Why didn't the head erode?
They shot it off, buddy.
Right, and there was that whole history lesson. What was that experience like? Like, did you get to impart any of the history that you've learned about Ethiopia, the food? What was that interaction like with iShow?
It was great. I mean, he came through. Yeah. There was a lot of people back and forth.
Yeah.
But he went up to the rooftop, and he was amazing. And I always say that, the average age of the people I work with is like 24, 25, right?
Yeah.
So people my age just say, oh, young people are lazy. I said the opposite. Young people are not lazy. People want to work.
Yeah.
Most people that work in the kitchen in their mid-20s, and it might be a bridge career to the next thing, but they're learning, showing up on time. One or two of them might, make this a career, right? But I see nothing but like super smart generation that are connecting their food experience with social media and creating their own small businesses. When I was coming up, you had one job, you were cooking for that restaurant. These guys have 3 jobs. Because they're doing a pop-up with their friends on their day off. They're hustling.
No doubt.
And so I feel like we're actually we have a generation of innovators and creators. And iShow Speed is probably the epicenter, like the top of that.
Yeah.
But I notice with my line cooks as well. And I think we shouldn't neglect that. Or if you neglect it, you're going to be left behind.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So I see a lot of positive with a lot of young people.
What was your start? Like, where did you start? Like, when I say start, like, the explosion of your career, like when did you go from your interesting cook to then being this mega chef?
Yeah, well, it's like any black person, right? There is a moment where there's always somebody blocking, and you got to get back.
That.
Yeah, not that.
Is it called racism? No.
But
I'm sorry.
I would even say, I don't even think with this dude, I don't even think it was racism. I think he just didn't know any better, right? So I'm
Tourette's?
20,
He's trying to put a name to it. He's trying to put
So
a name
I'm
to it.
I think it might be called Tourette's.
yeah.
Son of I don't know.
I'm 23, he's 50.
Okay.
He says to me, so I'm in this incredible place. And he said, okay, Marcus, he just like, you go home, come back in 3 months, I got a new job for you, can work for free for another year. And I said, actually, I'm not. He's like, what do you mean? And this is like, it's like going to Harvard, like no one says no, you get the ticket, you get in. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Line up the door with the most talented young kids throughout the world. He's like, nope, what do you mean you say no? And I was like, no, I think it's time for me to start investing in my own restaurant. I want to open my own restaurant. Then he says to me, listen, as a black person, you can work in a restaurant, you can never own a restaurant.
Wait, I'm sorry, time out, what?
He said, as a black person, you can work in a restaurant, but you can never own a restaurant.
He said that?
Yeah, he said it to me.
He's the guy who said it, wasn't racist.
He even dropped everything and just looked at me, because like, no one says no, right? So it's like, what is this? And then he says, let me make it simple for you. Do you know anyone in France that looked like you and has a successful restaurant? I said, I don't know everybody in France. Like I've been to Paris once. I've been to this little village. And then it's like, do you know anyone in Europe? And I was like, I don't know anything about that. I just know my dream is this. You also know that I can do this. So why should I lower my dream? And I'm not going to do it.
Man,
it's not going to
that's
happen.
insane.
She said, well, I don't know what to tell you. Go home, talk to your family, and I know you will be back. I called my dad. He's like, come home. Just come home. I can't talk to you. Just come home. So at that point, I didn't fly home. I took the train home. It's like 30 hours on the train.
So you're gonna think.
Yeah, you're thinking.
Yeah.
And once I got home, my dad's like, do you know anyone in New York? I said, actually, I do. You think you can get a job? I said, you know that I can get a job anywhere in the world. Like my CV is like, my resume is actually hot right now. And
What year was this? I'm sorry.
This is like 93, something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I connected when did the Chronic come out? Like I know about like that's what I'm like.
The Chronic, you
it has to
listening
be.
to the Chronic?
I was like, it has to be.
Was that 93, 94?
The Chronic? Oh, let's go.
It's Tribe.
Oh,
Tribe and the Chronic. I was like,
Wu-Tang.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
everybody.
all of that.
Oh,
yeah,
the
yeah.
golden
So that's
age of
what I
hip-hop.
think about, right?
Yeah.
So my dad's like, I had a friend in New York. He was a young chef at Aquavit, Swedish restaurant here in New York. Peter said, you want to leave Europe to come to the States? We can set you up with papers. You can just come. And I said to my dad, I have a job. I had $300 in my pocket. I got from my dad. I had 4 roommates. I was on that plane. I had a job in New York City. I had a little bit of coin. Right? A little bit of coin.
Let's go.
And I was like, nothing could be better than this, right? And I had a job. So once I got to Aquavit, the guy in charge, after a couple of months, passed away. And then I became like the junior guy that kind of was running the place. And the owner said to me, like, I got to go and get a boss here. I got to go and get a chef. I said, yes, I'm 23 years old. I don't want to close this place. I don't want anything bad to happen. So like 4 months later, he came back and said, hey, I found the chef. I was like, yes, a little bit less responsibility. But I was running the restaurant at that point, right? It's going to be you. I said, what?
It's insane.
Like, I'm not ready for that. And then I was like, okay, I got to call my parents. And I will never forget this. So I got a contract. I've made no money for 7 years, right? I'm 23 years old. I got a contract that says I'm going to make $75,000, right? My mom was like this. How many years do you have to work to make $75,000? My dad in the back, 1 year. It says there, right here, 1 year. My mom's like, take it, click. She just like, take it.
Yeah.
Because that was for her, my son made it, right? Wow. And if we hang up now, he's not gonna f it up. So it's like, just like, take it. And I did, and that restaurant went from 1 star to 3 stars.
What was the restaurant called?
Aquavit. It's still open
Okay,
to this day. And it was the epicenter of Scandinavian food, modern Scandinavian food.
Yeah.
So it was a big responsibility, and that put me on the map, and we won Restaurant of the Year from the whole thing. Yeah. Just my world just exploded. I had a little bit of coin, but you know what? I never left my roommates until one of my roommates one day said, Marcus, what are you doing this for? You should buy an apartment. You don't need to live with it. What are you doing? You can actually afford. So they kind of kicked me out. They're like, you should buy your own place. So I
Stop
did that.
showing off around us.
You know.
You coming in with diamonds.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
No, but it'd be like, and I thought it was social because I really liked it. You come home to plays, you always like
you got your friends, you got your community.
it's fun, you know.
Absolutely, yeah.
And like, Mark, they like in 4 years, they're like, you should move.
But you was able to stack up bread then.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you was able to stack up bread.
That's how I bought
That's
my
good, but
farm.
it's the great mentality.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go out here.
Yeah, you're not just gonna.
Yeah,
That's right.
You know that too. Like when you guys got on, because Happy's not in that. Happy's like building it, doing it, and it's like you have your sneakers, you have your little car.
I got my food.
What more do you want?
Yeah.
So I was like never go crazy on that stuff.
So I got to ask you this because this is something, and I don't know if you've heard this, but I know like especially like a lot of NFL guys, you know, after in the NFL and out of the NFL. One of the things you always hear from financial experts and wherever, everyone says, man, whatever you do, don't put your money into a restaurant. And I've always been tempted to, but I'm glad I didn't because it's not like I had a passion. It was just I was watching other people do what they're doing with their money. And there's this weird statistic that when a restaurant opens up, in like 3 years, they'll end up closing. And was that the same type of statistic when you were starting off?
Sure.
Did you know about that? Were you afraid of that?
No.
Because I'm like, man, that's a lot of pressure to know that you open up something and knowing 3 years later it could flop.
I bet on me.
Oh,
I bet on me. Against everybody, against anything.
That's why you.
If you and I would, if the three of us would line up, there's a task in front of us, except sledgehammer, I would win it. Because I'm that stubborn. I will do it.
You sound like me. Your birthday's May 6th.
So
When's your birthday?
No, but
May
you know,
6th.
but
both May 6th.
But you know what I mean? That's the mentality, right? Like you didn't get. You didn't get to be where you are today without hard work, being stubborn, and we all do it in different ways, right? You just told me you rocked the Apollo. That is such an achievement for someone who lives in Harlem, been on the Apollo board for 10 years, right? Like I know what that means. And you got to be stubborn and you got to bet on you. And that doesn't mean that you can't close a restaurant, but a restaurant is a large tent, right? And first of all, the word restaurant means to restore your spirit in the community, right? Most people don't know that.
I didn't know that.
But the word restaurant the tent is too large, right? Because in the way it's built, McDonald's is a restaurant, this is a restaurant. They're very different structures, right? So you can invest in a restaurant, but you're investing in people. And do you believe in that person and the team that he or she's putting around themselves? That's what you're investing in. And it's just easier to pick on restaurants than saying internet startups that you probably have a higher fail ratio, right? So for me, every restaurant is not the same. You know, I can also look at restaurants that have been extremely successful, whether it's Duke Chase or Sweet Greens or whatever, right? It's the people that you invest in.
And you have such an eclectic, collection of restaurants. There's not just, somebody might think, oh, he's Ethiopian. He just has Ethiopian restaurants. You have an eclectic from...
Because we do many different things. Like what I love about black music, right? It really gave us, if you study it, the label that these different art forms gave us. If I say gospel, you know right away. It's on Sunday, da-da-da.
Right.
If you say R&B, what era? If you say hip-hop, what era, right? It's really broken down, right?
Yeah, of course.
With black food, of course we're not monolithic. We have many different ways. But we also eat. When you take your significant other out, you might want to go to higher end. On a Tuesday with your kids, you might just want to eat street bird, right? That's our fast casual. When you want to come and see a show, you go to Red Rooster and eat with us, right? So for me, it was all about, I want to be the tastemaker for our community. For whatever mood you're in, we should be able to provide that for you. And every black person, doesn't matter what economic level, have thought about these things. Will there be other black people there? Will the staff see me? Should I be, there is a nervousness about going out that I just want to eliminate. I just want to take it away, right? Because we don't feel like that when we go to a black comedy show. I know I'm going to see others and not maybe every act is black, but it's going to be, I'm in a safe space.
No doubt.
Restaurant, because of the history of restaurants, integration, segregation pushed us away from that, right? So we're still working off that, right? But I had a lot of mentors. Like when I came to the city, I lived across the street from Jezebel's. That's where Denzel used to go. That's where Wesley Snipes used to go, right? That's if you wanted to see black excellence in the early 2000s or late 90s, it was Jezebel's, right? I saw Sylvia's, right?
Sylvia's, oh yeah.
You know, one of my best friends is Melba, right?
Melba.
So I had all these aunties and people like, I could just sit there and study, how should I build that? Rooster doesn't just come about because I wanted to build it that way. It was a lot of us, me and my partner Andrew, but we looked at Shark Bar, we looked at Melba's, we looked at Sylvia's, we looked at B. Smith's. So these are all the aunties that I was kind of like guided me. So when I was ready, I did my move, opened, and it happened.
What's this? Yeah, go ahead.
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, when I look at these reality shows, like when I watch Gordon Ramsay, and what do you think? You ever think about doing a show like that when the Hell's Kitchen? I watched like a whole thing of Hell's Kitchen, and going in and fixing up a restaurant. You ever thought about that? Or you're like, I don't do the reality show thing. Where you go, what is this? This is trash. Do it over.
I mean,
because cooking is in reality shows huge.
Yeah, I mean, when I came up, I never thought food would be part of pop culture. But because of Food Network, Top Chef, what Gordon has produced, right? We're now part of pop culture. And I feel grateful for that because when I was coming up, it was either fast food or fine dining, right? But of course, most people live in between that, but no one really cared what that was. So the food shows have really created this level of pop culture. So more people, younger people come to us now. They want to work in restaurants. That wasn't happening before. So I think food and pop culture is great because
it makes the food experiential too, where you go through, it's like, oh, this is what I saw on TV. Or and you made that. You made not the switch, you just kind of added that to the collection of things that you did. LeBron said taking his talent to South Beach. You decided to take your talents to Hollywood, and you've done the Top Chef, you've done all these different ones. When did you make the decision like, yo, I think I should jump on this side of...
I thought once food and internet didn't really connect until like 2005, 2006. And obviously when iPhone came out, the behavior just changed right away.
Yeah.
And the minute you can take pictures of the food, it changed again, right? So I was like, there's a train here, you kind of have to be on it. And if you're not on this, it's never gonna look back. So I think that around 2009, 10, I was like, yo, this is about turn to pop culture. And so I was on Top Chef.
Yeah.
I won. That's what I said to you.
Yeah.
Like you can line them all, whatever it is. And you just gotta focus and it's gonna happen. Wasn't easy, but I was like, all right.
Were you nervous? Because I mean, now there's one thing to do it behind closed doors amongst, in a small community. There's another thing to do it in front of a wide audience.
No, I mean, the audience doesn't, you know that. The audience, you know that. You've done the 10,000 hours, like it's like.
You should have played pro ball, man.
Yeah, no.
You got that. I feel like I'm talking to an athlete.
But
that's athletic.
Yeah.
I mean, I play.
I love that mentality.
But it is an athletic thing.
And you have to focus.
You have to practice,
But also like when the other guys want to go to party, you're like, I can have one drink, I can have a drink, but then I'm going home, right?
Yeah.
And they showing up to work next day a little bit tired. I was like, all right, cool. That's not me. Right? If we're doing this, we're doing this. I might not be as fun as, I'm like, no, we are here for this. So, and I think that's the immigrant mentality. It's definitely a black immigrant's mentality, right? Because this is a shot. And, the 6 months later, we opened Rooster, and it was the biggest success ever. And that just doesn't happen. You got to lock in and focus.
Yeah. Were there challenges? I know, what were some of the bigger challenges? Because I know there are going to be a lot of people out there who are watching not only here in the States, but even over in Africa. And there are going to be people watching and going, wait, well, how do I do it? What are the things that you look forward to that you can look to start a business? And then what are some of the biggest hurdles?
But I think the challenges are the beauty, right? Because they teaches your stamina. You know that show when you showed up and 4 people were in the audience, but you still had to do the set?
Yeah.
And you probably crushed it, that set. And you had to, but if you were like, I'm not doing this for 4 people. You can't. I've done demos.
Yeah, no doubt.
With more staff is showing up.
Yeah,
then,
no doubt.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you feel, it's intimidating. That's intimidating. But I just did a demo in South Beach where thousands of people are showing up, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, people want to be part of that, but I had to do those demos
Small joints,
for
yeah.
4 joints.
No
and,
doubt.
you know,
Sure.
Like I was, you know, and it happens to like, think about Sting and the Police, right? When they came to New York the first time, they performed at a place, and hundreds of people come up to Sting and said, I was there when you performed with the Police. He's like, no, it was 4 people in the audience, and I know all 4 of them, and you were not there. And I love that answer because it's real.
Don't stand so close to me. Beat it.
Yeah. So I'm like, for me, it's the challenges though. If I wouldn't have those challenges,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here. Like, you open a restaurant in New York City, if you don't think that's going to come with challenges, with all the moving parts,
New York?
between rent, deliveries, staffing,
Yeah.
don't be in that business.
Don't do it.
And you can be in food. You might become a food writer. You might be a food blogger. You might be food something, caterer. But a restaurant is not the only thing to do in food, right? You can be in sports. You might become an agent. You might become
General manager,
general manager,
a coach, a broadcaster, so many different
and
areas.
that's what we have now. We didn't have that before, and that's what's beautiful about this. So be in the space. Just figure out where you fit in the space.
I heard this beautiful analogy. It was like, you know, and this is an analogy that's kind of used to tell, you know, talking about, you know, the many levels. It's like, you can be a great chef, but run a bad restaurant.
Yes.
Because those are 2 different strengths.
No doubt.
Yes.
So what are the strengths it takes to run the restaurant? And obviously, I think we know what it takes to be a good chef. You got to have good food.
Yeah.
But to run that business, just because you can run you know, the kitchen doesn't mean you can run the. Like, what's the secret sauce?
I think it's a lot. I mean, like, you know, Michael had to go through Detroit a couple of times, right? He was the best
Bad boys
player, but he had to go through Detroit.
Right.
And then eventually they became a team, and eventually he had a coach that he respected and had to listen to, and eventually they won, right? And all of that goes in business too, right? You can be the most talented person, just closing, right? But you have to have a team. You have to be able to communicate, and people got to believe and feel on the other side that I want to line up for this, right? Because you're taking, it's money out of not just corporations, but actually out of, you know, regular people, right?
Yeah.
And if they don't believe or feel it, they're not showing up. And they got options. It's not like New York City needs another restaurant. We got 22,000 restaurants.
Is that a real number?
Yeah, so it's not
heard
in the
that, right?
need.
Oh.
22.
Yeah.
Hey, LA got more.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I just made that up.
Exactly.
No, but
No, it doesn't.
So I bet you America got 22,000 comedians, right?
And about 22,000, let's say about 19,000 should not be doing it. But
Okay, so 19.
But
so
everybody
it's the
and
same
their mama got,
It's a big number.
No doubt.
And then there's like 20, and you part of the 20. That's a crazy number. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Sports.
Same thing.
How did you get into with the celebrities? I mean, you had a chance to sit down with and do a show with the late great Anthony Bourdain.
Oh man,
what was that experience like? Because he was a world traveler like yourself.
His show was fantastic.
And I'm a traveler. Like I like just hearing that your experience and going to different places. I can't wait to get to the 90s. I'm in the 40s, and you know, Anthony Bourdain was something like I truly love watching because. I love how he took in culture. I love taking in stories. I love taking in culture. What was that experience like?
Anthony was an amazing guy. Anthony was funny in a way that he didn't always show in the show. Like I remember one time, way before we did the show together, there was like this underground bar in the 40s, whatever, where everybody was dressed up and played a role. Like, and he knew that, and I didn't know that. He just put me in there, dropped me there, and then the next day, like, how did it go? I was like, everybody was like in, you know, like, it wasn't a masquerade, but everyone was doing something. They were like in a role, basically, right? And he just loved putting you in specific situations that you were so outside your comfort zone, right? He's like, I dropped you, that was great, man. And it's like, he took you to the edge of things, right? Whether that was eating with Anthony in LA, for example, where so many mom and pops, right? So he didn't take you to a Chinese restaurant close to West Hollywood. You had to go to like, you know, he just took you to the spots. And he knew the people at those spots, regardless of religion and ethnicity, and he was comfortable more there than it was at the hotel that we stayed in, right? Like the hotel is like, just get me out of here and that's it. But once we were in the kitchens or in the mom and pop like that, he loved it.
He loved it, yeah.
And so I was just lucky to be just like right there with him many, many times. Wow. And I loved Anthony. And it's a big, big loss. I have good memories, so that's
good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, every time, like, so you think, I would love to own a restaurant or a cafe, but it's like show business, man. I remember when I was working for on the Cosby Show, I was an audience coordinator, and I went into Cosby's office. I said, "Hey, can you give me some advice on comedy?" I'm 4 years in.
You saved up that, and good for you, though.
He had a cigar, and he said, "Yeah, let me tell you something about this business." And he's doing the Cosby thing, and he goes, "The 2 words, show business. It's all about the business. What's the bigger word? The business." And people, the show is the cooking and all that, but the business part. Yeah. And did you have to study the business? Like, the business part is the part that people don't want to deal with. So have you dealt with people that,
of course,
that just kind of screwed you?
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Because there's that where you're like, they took money, all this money you spent, and they, okay. So
it was rough. And to realize, because I always thought I looked out for that, and I always thought that I had that covered, being an immigrant, being black, like that side, the hustle side, no one's gonna out hustle me.
Right.
But someone did, and it was hard. Yeah.
Man.
And you feel a little bit of shame.
Yeah.
And you're dealing with all that. But I was like, okay, maybe this is what I had to go through to get to the next level, right? And it was tough. It was rough. And I had to work myself out of it.
Yeah, it's like with bad agents, bad managers. I've had it. Bad managers stealing money from you.
Yeah.
The whole night. So I just wondered.
Yeah, and my whole path is like, it's not, nothing comes easy, nothing is linear, right? But think about all the things that we love, right? They all come from grit. We talked about Paul Mooney. We talked about Michael going through that stuff, It's all about the grit. If it would have been easy, we wouldn't even have cared about it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And when that happens to you, you also have to step up and be like, oh, this is my path, this is my journey. But everyone wants that quick success. And I was like, why would you want that? Why not be in the space, teach and learn and enjoy it, and you're going to meet so many more good people. Because once you've had success, where are you going? Yeah. Where are you rushing to?
Right.
Like,
and then that led you then to the Obamas, where you had the opportunity to be invited to be, a chef for the state Obama during the Obama administration, the state dinner. That had to have been wild for you to be like, wait, Obama's? Like, how did they find you?
That's
how
crazy.
How did that happen?
What do you mean how they find?
That's a disrespectful.
I'm the best.
Come on, do your Obama.
I came in soft, by the way. I came in soft.
That hole would have knocked us all in.
I get all of that. Yeah. Just a little part I didn't get. But like I worked and I knew that they were doing the state dinner for the Indian Prime Minister, and he was vegetarian. And I was like, well, if you take away the noise of a state dinner, it's a dinner. Someone's being invited to someone's home. If you're vegetarian, if you're Muslim, you don't eat pork, why would I serve? So I was like, let's start this with a vegetarian vision. And the whole meal didn't become vegetarian, but we started with that. That was all the chefs that they asked sent in suggestion. I'm like, no, it has to be vegetarian, at least leaning towards that. And they liked that idea, proposition. It was also around the same time when Michelle Obama started her garden. So I'm like, let's be vegetable forward. So my suggestion was a little bit left, and they liked that. And that's, I think, what you have to do in a big decision. You have to be a little bit different than everybody else. Sometimes it works. You might not get that call.
Right.
If you're straight up the middle, you have a higher chance. But if you get the call, it's a big call.
You ain't afraid of nothing, and I love
fearless.
About those things.
And then you get the call from Marcus, it's Oprah. I know she probably sang her name to Marcus.
Oprah, how was that? Now, Oprah was great in Harlem, it's home court advantage, like she came to she's been to the restaurant a couple of times.
Okay,
that's cool.
And I think all of it, end of the day, when you get a big call like that, you got to do the research of what are they on? Is it a public visit? how much time do they have? And food still, end of the day, got to fit into that, right? It's like when you're doing a gig, you know, do I have 12 minutes? Do I have 4 minutes? Do I have 45 minutes?
Right.
And you can't do the 45-minute gig when you have 12 minutes.
No.
Same thing with me. Like when the President of the United States needs to eat something quickly, we need to deliver it in 6 minutes, and that's what it is, right? So, I mean, before Obama's, I cooked for Clinton. I cooked for
Clinton.
Yeah, and
you know, he has a good Obama.
But many of the presidents, so it gives you a presence and understanding what needs to happen, right? Because the most important, it's a security job, right?
Yeah.
When they come, especially when Obama came to Rooster, you know, all of Harlem comes to the restaurant.
Do it.
Here's
Obama. Here's Obama here.
Marcus, this is Barack Obama. How you doing? Well, Michelle and I, we want to come by the Red Rooster.
Yes,
That's good.
That's good.
Now, I gotta ask, is it, and there's some big eaters, is it okay if we bring Sasha Malia?
Nice.
Thank you, Marcus.
That's
Thank you.
very good.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll do Clinton.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Is this Marcus? Hey, man, I want to come over to you. I heard all great things about your place, man. Once I get these Epstein files things out the way, I'm going to come
Don't
eat.
do that.
And so,
No.
I know, I didn't do nothing. They're just questioning me on some bullshit. But I'm starving, man. I'm starving for you.
Marcus.
What about this? Marcus.
No,
You invited everybody but me. I can't believe it. Red Rooster, too black for me. What else? I want some black food and I'm ready to eat so badly. Marcus, you're so full of shit. I swear you, Marcus. Come on, what about me? Feed me. I'm a fat bastard, but I love eating. Black food is my favorite.
Yes.
I want some of that faraway black food.
Yeah. The exotic black food.
I want some jara. Where's that jara?
Oh, my God.
I want some of that jara and that fifi, or that foo-foo-fifi jara. Give me some of that.
Oh, my goodness.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
He's the best.
Obama's fire.
I stay in my lane with Obama.
I give you because you're
Yeah, it's
Obama.
very
I like
good.
it.
Even the drop, even the way, like
The way you did it,
it's fantastic.
Malia, Sasha. No, I thought you were fine.
That was good.
See how strong he is?
Yeah.
See the happy strong? I hate when I make him laugh because I'm going to be injured.
Oh my God! Yeah. Oh, you guys are fire.
Awesome.
Okay, we just got a couple more questions for you. I want to talk about like some of the sensations on, you talk about social media and you see it now, a lot of people kind of giving their expertise on social media. What do you make of like, because when you're at your position and you see some of the stuff probably coming through your feed, are you as opinionated as some of these, chefs who are like, oh my goodness, what is this person doing? Or do you appreciate that your art is, although sloppy sometimes, is just being blasted throughout? So, because my wife consumes a lot of that stuff.
So my son is like, he comes up he's like, Dad, the cheese pull wasn't right on my sandwich at school, because he's like, no, the cheese pull is, I was like, what? Oh, the cheese pull is supposed to be like that. Wait, who taught you that? On your phone? Like he follows and he watch all the food creators, right? And they do that, the cheesy sandwich or whatever. And I was like, all right. And then I get defensive. I'm like, I cooked this in the morning and you had lunch 4 hours later, so you might not have the same.
Right, the same.
And then I find myself, why am I explaining this?
He sucked you in.
He's like, he sucked me in.
I got you.
He's like, well, the cheese puss is still not. I don't care if it's cold. It's not. It's doing the same.
Yeah.
And then it's like, this guy. I'm like, who's that guy? And then we're in the,
but some of these guys become big. Like, for example, I don't know. You got to explain this to me because I want to do this for myself. Like, tenderism. Tenderism is big, right? I mean, it just exploded. How the heck do they do the thing that make the they just drop off the bone like that?
You know what we're talking about, Walter Johnson?
Yeah.
He just got the name back by the name.
I saw that.
A lawyer, because the guy tried to steal the name from him.
Yeah.
And he got it back, which is
great.
fantastic.
And then he walked away from the business.
Well, the Destination Smokehouse, go eat a...
Yeah. How does that happen? When you see that, do you get inspired by that and go, you know what? I'm going to add some of this tenderism and have something fall off the bone like that? Like,
none of it.
What are your thoughts on it?
None of it.
Yeah.
Because there's another way to do it, right? Through experience and through know-how, right? It's like, there is a way to take care of that. It's by, you got to marinate it, you got to slow cook it, and if you slow cook it overnight, it will fall off the bone, right?
Period.
Like, food is science, it's a craft,
Yes,
it's
it
so you cook, when you cook with your hands, your heart, and you have a vision, people will connect if you do it the right way, right? But I would never be a chef if I'm just looking on something online and try to do that. Now I'm telling their story. Yeah. This is one of one. Everything you've had, there's the only place you can find that is right here. Yeah. And that's the only way we're gonna be able to have you come back, right? We have a restaurant in Bahamas on the water. The only way to do that is through being authentic to, I'm gonna try to get you closer to the water, because we know, like, you're on the East Coast, it's 25 degrees. You wanna sit close to the water, 85 degrees in Bahamas, right? We have a restaurant in Montreal at the Four Seasons. There's opposite, right? So it's like,
how many restaurants you have?
We have a bunch. We have a bunch.
He just said a bunch.
I can't count.
Yeah.
I can't count.
So many.
But you know, so my point is, I got to study that. I got to study the people. Yeah. You know, like before we opened in Montreal, the guy that picked me up from the airport, French Canadian guy, is like, you know, the one thing we hate the most is Americans, but actually the one thing we hate more than Americans are people from Toronto. You're not from Toronto, or you're not. I said, no. I'm from the States. I said, cool. We don't like you guys. I said, okay, cool. But actually the one thing we hate more than people from Toronto and the States is people from New York. You're not from New York, are you? I said, actually, I'm from New York. And it was quiet, right? He was like, quiet. I said, that's all right. By the time he took me from the airport to where I needed to go, I felt I knew everything I need to know about the city. So what's the city? It's a French-leaning town. It's a French city with a lot of pride. Yep. They take an enormous amount of pride in their tradition, and don't come here and try to change anything or change it, right? So wait a minute. I come from a proud neighborhood in Harlem. So when someone comes at you with that personal pride and sense of place, for me, I don't take that as negative, right? I took that as, he's giving me all the tea that these are the mistakes that you can do. They took pride in, they closed all the celebrity restaurants, they were there, the highest named chefs in the world, all closed. He took pride in that. So I'm like, let's not do that. Yeah. And now we're the number 1 or number 2 restaurant for the Four Seasons worldwide. We've been there for 6 years.
Montreal.
We changed everything so it was French. We wanted to be local. Yeah. And like when you get gems like that, rather than being upset with him, I'm like, you're giving me the feedback.
Giving me the
information I need.
This is what I need, yeah.
And I come from a fishing village in Sweden. If you have a Stockholm accent and you move too fast, they're gonna move the same way, right? So everyone has local pride. You are welcome in, but don't come in too fast and change our stuff. Yeah, that's the same for Harlem, Montreal, Nigeria, Brooklyn. Same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not about taking the bait on that. It's just like, what is it actually saying? Yeah. And that's what cooking has taught me.
Wow, that's.
I got this one irritation. I don't know if you share the same thing. I'm just gonna ask you.
Yeah.
In every movie you watch, I want to say every, but the majority of movies, right? You see a girl, you like a girl, you want to take her out. You know, she comes over to the house and you order what type of food? See, you don't watch movies. Chinese food.
Chinese food. Okay.
It's always like Chinese. It's like the majority of Chinese food. But it's like, I want to see African food, like just like, hey, babe, you know, you see them in the movies, and I'm like,
Nollywood got you.
Like an American couple go, foo-foo.
You just want to see
little
because,
injera.
You know, but jollof will come up. You know, if you think about how much Yvonne has added to the culture, right? Like how much what you were adding to the culture. Yeah, what you were adding to the culture, and all of that's going to come into pop culture, right? Yeah. So you're going to see Caribbean food is now part of that, right? You go into a love story. The set is that, I mean, Rooster's had many film done there. So, Rooster in Miami has had so many different movies done. So I think we're now slowly start.
So you're saying it's coming?
It's definitely
it's coming. All right.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about your personal side. Mm-hmm. Your wife. You were able to find, an Ethiopian wife. Talk about just your relationship, the support, your family. You mentioned your son. Just kind of on the personal side about, your beautiful wife.
My wife gave me like a complete life. I did not live a complete life before. I just worked. I was very happy doing that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know, and you know, I was far away from my family and parents and all that stuff. And you can just grind and do well and be happy in that. Well, then once I met my wife, I had to start thinking about another person in a different way. Once the kids came, it's like it gave me completion, it gave me fullness that I didn't even think was possible. I didn't know as a chef, as a black chef, running your own business, that you could actually have those things, right? And my wife was the first step in me on a Thursday night, not just thinking about being in the restaurant, not just thinking, like, and I was, in the beginning, I was scared of that because I was like, if I'm not on my game, like you know what I mean? Like I'm a lion, like, I'm doing this. And it was both intimidating and incredible. And when she said she got me, she understood it. Like, you know, I'm not going to come home at 5:30 and all of these different things, right? But she got it because she left Ethiopia as a teenager. She moved to Holland with these two Ethiopian people in the world. Both grew up in Northern Europe. She worked as a model still works, but worked for a long time in France, Milano, all these places on her own. So she understood what it is like you got to go out and make it happen.
Yeah.
So we both have these things and created a family around that. And now it's all about the give back, right? She has a school in Ethiopia for a program for young girls. And like she's given me so much of love and support that I never knew was possible. It took me a long time to figure that out.
Wow, that's cool. Well, we got the game going?
Got the game, all right.
Okay.
Well, this is called the Godfrey game, man, you know what I'm saying? Check it out. This or that, this is the food edition. Who has the best barbecue? Houston, Memphis, or Kansas City?
South Carolina.
Damn.
Wow.
Okay. Because I've tasted Kansas City and Houston. I haven't tasted
Very
Memphis.
different. Rodney Scott would be my
South
guy.
Carolina. Okay, I'll remember that.
Rodney Scott.
Right on.
Is the guy.
Because, you know, Kansas City brags about their barbecue.
Yes.
They have the barbecue competitions there.
Yeah, I can tell you it's not Houston. That I can tell you.
Okay.
Kansas City is very different, right? South Carolina is normally more pork-based, but Rodney is the guy. And Rodney's uncle was the guy. Like
South
it's in
Carolina.
Yes.
Barbecue. Look at that's a good one. I remember that. Which food do you like more, Mexican or Chinese?
Mexican.
Okay.
Because Mexico's given us so much.
Yeah.
The West Coast.
Facts.
Oh my God, the fish tacos and all the lightness, aguachile. Like, I love Mexican food.
Right on. Pizza and wings or burgers and fries?
That's a tough one. I would probably.
I know it's tough.
That's a tough one. Because I would probably do pizza and wings.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're all great.
Yeah.
Sometimes after a burger, it's just that feel of stuffing that I can never get over.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Who has the better overall food, Africa or the U.S.? Come on now.
The continent
Come
of
on,
Africa. Let's go.
Marcus, we want to say thank you so much for having us here at your restaurant.
And my first African idol was from Nigeria. JJ Okocha. Okocha.
Super
You
Eagles.
could know ever.
And
like,
Kanu and
the
Okocha.
joy of Okocha, watching Okocha play football, it's like watching Ronaldinho, right?
Wow,
You just laugh. Like, what? They're playing, running around, and then you see JJ.
Smooth.
Just
smooth.
Like everybody was running around and he was like just on a different level.
Yeah.
And that was everything.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, you have an amazing restaurant
Thank
here.
you.
We really appreciate it.
Coming. Yes.
We're glad we wanted to get you. You were on that list for us to have on 154. You're here. You did it. We
did it.
appreciate you. Give it up one more time.
Thank you.
Steps.
154. We all connected, baby. You already know. I'm talking 154. We bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like